Hi everybody, I hope that you're having a glorious day. Today we're going to be using our manipulatives to solve the trig identity secant of x minus tangent of x times sine of x equals 1 over secant of x. We're obviously going to be starting on the left side because it is the more complicated side, and we're going to be changing everything into sines and cosines. Starting with secant of x, which we know from our trig identities is just 1 over cosine of x. We're going to come over to our tangent of x, which we know from our trig identities is sine of x over cosine of x. And then sine of x is already in sines and cosines, so we're just going to put it over 1 so we can have everything into fraction form. Notice that when I translate these into their identities, the blue 1 and the red cosine of x come together to make the purple secant of x, and the same shape as the secant of x. Same with the sine of x over cosine of x. The sine of x is yellow and the cosine of x is red, which comes together to form the orange tangent of x. And then, like I said, sine of x over 1 is just going to be sine of x. Now we're going to be multiplying sine of x over cosine of x and sine of x over 1 together. Because we're multiplying these fractions, we do not need a common denominator, so we're just going to multiply across. Sine of x times sine of x equals sine squared of x, and cosine of x times 1 equals cosine of x. And we're keeping our 1 over cosine of x for now. Now we're going to be subtracting these fractions, and because cosine of x and cosine of x are already common denominators, we do not need to be multiplying to make anything equal or even, so that's rad and makes our lives a lot easier. So we're just going to be turning it into one fraction, where 1 minus sine squared of x is just all over cosine of x. We know from our corollaries that 1 minus sine squared of x is equal to cosine squared of x, which is what we have right here. Anything times itself is just squared, so we know that cosine squared of x is just cosine of x times cosine of x, and we still have that denominator of cosine of x coming down here, so we're just going to turn this into cosine of x times cosine of x over cosine of x. We have some like terms here that we can cancel out, so this one's going to go goodbye, and so is this one, so that we have cosine of x over 1, which is just equal to cosine of x. Like we said before, we know from our trig identities that cosine of x is simply equal to 1 over secant of x, which is conveniently the identity that we were trying to solve. Have a wonderful day, guys. Thank you.